Dave Johnson has been managing a diversified organic row crop farm in Lycoming County, Pennsylvania for over 20 years. His soil and weed management strategies include periodic tillage. However, he has been able to reduce tillage depth and frequency and improve overall aspects of soil health using 4 to 5 year crop rotations that include a perennial cover crop phase and a diverse assortment of cash crops. While some form of tillage is essential on organic farms, with proper attention, Dave feels that it is possible to minimize the negative impacts tillage can have on soil microbial communities. And he has attempted to reduce it as much as possible.
When people ask me if I'm concerned about the effects of tillage on soil health, my answer is yes and no. I feel like in some ways tillage obviously is counterproductive to the microbiology in the soil, but I feel like if it's done at the right time, the right temperatures, the right moisture conditions, and with a limited amount, it's not as detrimental as many people claim it is. We have tried to reduce tillage where we can using some no-till. One example that we have found with pretty good success, and this was last year with a dry year, after our buckwheat crop, we no-till drilled wheat into it, and we have a very good stand and very little weed pressure. So I'm happy with the results there.
Dave has also mitigated the impacts of tillage and controlled weeds by using cover crops in his organic crop rotations. He has had success tapping into diverse crop markets. This allows him to enhance his crop rotations and diversified weed control strategies.
I feel that cover crops are important from a soil health standpoint, primarily because we need more diversity in the soil. And farmers that are doing just a couple of crops like corn and beans are probably having the worst problems with soil health. I think the evidence of some good soil health is a good soil tilth and the diversity of things that we're seeing growing as well. When I till up the soil, I'm seeing root masses that are holding on to good soil. And unfortunately, we have to break some of those up to get a good seed bed as well. But I think that's an indication that things are doing well.
Dave believes that it is necessary to have a solid understanding of the land, weeds, and pests that are present when deciding the best ways to reduce tillage and for choosing which crops to rotate.
I think you need to be very aware of the weed problems that you run into and when they are most susceptible to select crops that are going to be competitive or are going to be harvested before that weed becomes viable.
Despite being successful in enhancing soil health under organic management, the short growing season in Lycoming County poses additional challenges that limit certain options to incorporate reduced tillage practices.
I would love to find the right winter cover crops that would kill over winter. So we could end up doing more no-till in the spring. Rolled rye is a difficult one here because of having to wait so late to roll the rye, it gets late to plant crops. I know people are having good success with rolled rye and the roller crimper, but I think it's a challenge in our cooler environment here.
Dave recommends that experienced organic farmers are the best sources of information. He suggests joining extension-type meetings or online platforms. Organic farming systems have so many considerations and moving parts that it is good to have a support network.
I think if you're looking for what tools or what crops is the ideal, you're not going to find any magic silver bullet. You need to have a lot of tools in the toolbox. You need to be very flexible in terms of crop rotations. And if you find out you've planted a crop and the weeds are a problem, you till it up and you start over again or try a different crop. You have to consider that your rotations may shift because a field has a particular weed problem and you don't want to use a crop with that kind of a weed problem. I think the other thing that you have to really be careful of with organic farming is you need to know where your crops are going before you put a seed in the ground. It's really sad when you've got a crop that you've harvested and you have no place to sell it. And you there's no elevator that you can just run and take something to with organic like there is with conventional crops. One of the best tools for organic farmers is other organic farmers that have been doing it. There's some internet groups that you can get on that will talk about organic crops. It's been a real good one. Meetings, either extension or otherwise, that are planned are usually a good place to network and get some information. I think some of the research that Penn State's been doing has been helpful. But we need a lot more of that. We need a lot more experimentation on somebody else's dime. Because as organic farmers, you can only take so many risks, and economically you have to say, what is the bottom line? What can I sell? What can I grow? I would like to think a 10-year rotation would be great, but economically, can I do it?